the Achilles tendon, the white part. On the sides is the soleus. Pause.
You're on the calf right now?
Are you paused? These muscles here are the gastrocnemius. I know I didn't pronounce that right. Okay, and then we have the tibialis anterior, number 19. This one is the fibularis longus. It runs down the side of the pinky. The fibularis brevis
is the small one.
The small one in front of the longus. And that's it for the calf. Center muscle here is the rectus femoris. The inside, this one here, is the vastus medialis. The one on the other side here is the vastus lateralis. This white meaty part in here, or white tendon part in here, is the quadriceps tendon. The sartorius, the long muscle. Number 12 is the number 12 is the pectineus, the short muscle next to the artery here. The gracilis. What is that one? It's number 15.
15, the gracilis muscle.
Okay. 13 is the adductor longus, and it runs down the inside. And number 9, the tensor fascia latae, lateral top.
Tensor fasciae latae. Sounds like a cup of coffee.
On your leg. Grande.
Digitorium. I highlighted the ones we needed off of you.
Ready?
Yeah.
So if you want
Okay. This here is your
if I missed
deltoid.
something, let me know.
This here is your infraspinatus.
Triceps.
Up here is your supraspinatus. Inside is the subscapularis.
Wow, yours playing
Here
really good.
we've got the tragus minor, and here is the tragus major. This muscle here looks like a dagger, triceps brachii. This one here in between is going to be the brachialis. This large muscle here is my biceps brachii. And this muscle inside of here in your armpit is the coracobrachialis. 20 here, this long muscle here is the brachii or a dialis. Yeah, that sounds good too. This little short one right here is the pronator teres. This one next to it is going to be the flexor carpi radialis. Number 14 here is the palmaris longus that extends to the palm. And number 15, this nice big long one here is the flexor carpi ulnaris.
On the pinky side.
On the pinky side.
And the palmus one runs all the way up to the middle of the palm.
Number 24 here, the flexor digitorum superficialis. Number 25 here, this one is the supinator. And here we have the flexor pollicis longus.
It connects to the thumb.
And this little skinny one in between these arteries and veins that run down to the palm is the flexor digitorum profundus, number 43. This muscle here is the extensor carpi ulnaris. This itty bitty thin muscle next to it is the extensor digit minimi. Next to that is this bigger muscle. It is the extensor digitorum. Is that number
It's number 18.
18 is the extensor carpi
Hold
radialis
on.
brevis.
Yeah, that is. Extensor digitorum. Is it digitorum?
No, extensor
Carpe radius brevis.
Yes. And then we have number 19. That looks like a 13. Oh, that's a 19. Okay. This one here is the extensor carpi radialis longus.
Okay, here it is.
Okay.
Rhomboid
Are you
major.
on?
Yep.
Okay. So
Rhomboid
this is
minor.
the trapezius, this big back muscle here. Here we have the latimus dorsi, this huge muscle. Here we have the rhomboid major, and on top of this pencil mark here is the rhomboid minor. It's a little itty bitty piece.
And that is underneath the
Trapezius.
trapezius.
Also under we have the erector spinae. Do we
Which
need to
runs
know that
along the
it
spine.
contains the They're not highlighted.
No, those are other.
On the chest, we have the pectoralis major, the breast muscle. Underneath this muscle, we have the pectoralis minor, seen on the deep model. On the side, underneath the pectoralis major, you have the serratus anterior, the side rib muscles.
Okay, external is going to be on top, internal is going to be on the inside. The internal,
We are looking at the external and internal intercostal muscles. The external you see are on the exterior part of the intercostal spaces, with the internal being on the inside of the ribs.
And all the layers.
The linea alba runs from the sternum down through the medial part of the body to the belly button. The transverse abdominis is the white stuff that runs sideways, perpendicular. On the side, you have your external obliques, the most superior muscle on the abdomen. Underneath the external obliques, you have the internal oblique. And down the middle of your abdomen, you have the rectus abdominis, the pelvic muscles. Down here in the bottom, you have the
it's the V part here.
Inguinal ligament.
inguinal ligament, the sexy V. On the head, we have the temporalis, located on the temporal bone of the skull. On the front of the skull, in the frontal bone, we have the frontalis, the muscle right above the eye. On the back, located on the occipital lobe, we have the occipital talus. And then the white matter, or muscle, running between the frontalis and the occipital atlas is the
Gallia aponeurosis.
Aponeurosis.
Gallia aponeurosis.
No, I'm fine. Thank you.
He's done this 10,000 times.
I was debating where we should start. Let's just start right here on the face, okay? This circular muscle around the eye is the orbicularis oculi. This circular one around the mouth is the orbicularis oris. At the corner of the mouth, right, at the corner of that orbicularis oris, we have a little triangular shape right here. The muscle on the base of the triangle is the masseter. The muscle closer to the eye, forming this part of the triangle, is the zygomaticus major. This part of the triangle is the risorius. Right there in the center is the buccinator. Okay, so orbicularis oris, the corner of that we have the zygomaticus major, masseter, risorius, buccinator in the center. Okay. On the side of the head, I'll keep it flat, make it easier for you. We have the temporalis, we have the frontalis, and then we have the occipitalis. Otherwise known as the epicranius and the frontal belly and the occipital belly of the epicranius, if you read that in your book. White portion on top that connects the two is the Gallia aponeurosis. Here's the big sternocleidomastoid right here. And then we have the hyoid bone, and the muscle that is closest to the midline, so closer to the sternum, is the sternohyoid. And next to that is the omohyoid. Those are going to pull down on the hyoid bone. Above that, right here, this muscle on the bottom that then kind of attaches to a little connective tissue there, and then wraps around up here, is the digastric. And so as this contracts, it's going to pull up on the hyoid. So this one pulls up, and these pull down. So that's digastric, as well as that little piece right there. All right, digastric, digastric. Okay. Sternocleidomastoid, we pop that off, and we see these three muscles here. These are the scalene muscles, the anterior scalene, middle scalene, and posterior scalene. Wrap around to the back. We have your big trapezius muscle, which comes up here. You pull that off, and we have the splenius capitis muscle. Beneath that, in between the splenius capitis and posterior scalene, is the levator scapulae.
And the platysma.
Platysma is a big sheet muscle laying on top of the sternocleidomastoid like that. It's not on this model. The only model that we do have it on is
a picture of
that
it.
one.
Platysma.
Platysma.
Platysma is on the top.